So on the 18th of August, he calls me, he just got back in town from his job. He's like, yeah, I just had a great week. Like, I want to take you out. I want to celebrate. And at this time, the job that he helped me get, which he didn't really help me get, but he helped me get the interview for, and I got the job. I was starting that following week as well. So I'm like, great, let's celebrate. Let's go out. Let's celebrate like I'm in a good mood. I'm about to have a good job, better paying job, start making some income. Long story short, we end up going to this plot called Fume. It's a nice little lounge in Charlotte. I pulled up by myself and he pulled up after, so I Ubered there. He met me there. Me and my friend was already there. So we ended up having like some sort of double date. Long story short, it wasn't that busy that night. The manager that was there, he sent us a bottle of champagne. We already had about 3 rounds of shots, and then the owner of the establishment also sent shots to our table. So we were very well drunk. Like, I know I was. I probably drunk more than everybody because everybody else had to work the next day. I didn't have to work the next day. So I was drinking. Everybody was drinking. My girlfriend, she was with her friend. They both were driving. I wasn't driving. So I drank more than anybody that night. Long story short, we was there until about 2:30 because I remember him cleaning up in the establishment. We were leaving out. I don't really remember the walk from the restaurant to the car. The next thing I do remember is like being at his apartment, and he's like, let's go up, and I'm like struggling to make it up those steps because I was just so lit. I was so lit and I just couldn't like walk. So he helped me up them steps. I remember him helping me. When I got to his house, I remember me asking him for a change of clothes because I had like this 2-piece on. It was very uncomfortable. And so I was like, I knew I was just going right to sleep. You know what I mean? I knew I was just going right to sleep. I had ended up only being awake enough to put on the shirt, and then I went to bed, like to his bed, and then he was in his living room when I left him because he's like, oh, I'm about to stay up for a little bit, and that's fine. He wasn't tired. I was tired, drunk, whatever. I went to his bed. When I went to his bed, I just remember like passing out, but I wasn't like completely passed out. I was like passed out to the point where I didn't want to move, but I wasn't passed out to the point where I couldn't hear what was going on in my surroundings, right? So boom, as I remember going to bed, mind you, me and him already had a conversation about how I do not want to have sex with him, how I am moving extremely slow. I'm still recovering from a breakup. Me and him barely kissed, y'all, barely kissed. So this was just completely off throne for me. So he's seen that I was clearly drunk and I went to bed. He was in the living room for a little bit, and I remember hearing him come into the room as I was laying in bed, and he started kissing me. Now, for whatever reason, I could not move. I could not kiss back. I could not move. I could not speak. I could not open my eyes. My body was literally still. And I remember that because I know what my body did. Like, I remember him kept calling my name. I remember him kissing me, not kissing back, him noticing me, not kissing back, then him lifting my legs to go eat my vagina. It was completely a movie nightmare, y'all. Like, I just could not believe that this was happening to me. I was literally screaming to the top of my lungs, but it would not come out my mouth. I remember my brain just not being able to speak what I was trying. So as he continues to kiss all on my body, that I did not give him permission to, as he continues to lick on my vagina that I did not give him permission to do. Mind you, y'all, during this time, he keeps trying to call my name as if I was looking at it like he was trying to get my attention, like trying to get me to wake up. But now that I'm thinking about it, he might have slipped me something in my drink because he kept calling my name, not only like in the beginning, but also the whole time. Like, from what I remember, it was literally like he licked my vagina to like make sure it was wet. He wasn't like eating it, like, he was licking it to make sure it was wet. Then he decided to put his raw dick in my vagina. And when I tell you that, I just was no longer good after that. Like, I was so upset, y'all. Like, I literally could not move, and I could not scream, and I could not say nothing. I didn't have my eyes open, nothing, y'all. he kept thrusting and thrusting and thrusting. He probably thrusted about 6 or 7 times before I think he realized what he was doing and got off of me. Literally, just rolled off of me. And then that's the last thing I remember before I fully passed out. That is the story. This is currently his picture on BLK. One of my friends sent it to me, showed that he also lied to me about his age. He told me he was 40. On here it shows 45. If you look up his name, it shows 49. We don't know how old this man is. This man is just lying, out here lying. So that's what happened that night. The next day, which is the next morning, I woke up probably like 6 or 7. But you know when you drink a lot the night before, when you wake up early that next morning, it's really not that early. Like we probably got in probably like 3 o'clock. And so 6 o'clock is like 3 hours. You're still kind of drunk. So I kind of was just laying there like kind of drunk, like so confused about what happened, and passed right back out. Woke up again probably around 11. And I felt so weird. I felt so weird, y'all. Like I got up. I realized that my pants were on the floor. I don't remember putting them on, so I'm not going to say anything about those pants. But I put them on, and then he's up getting ready to go out, telling me how he has to go to work, and that, it's time to go or whatever. And then I asked him, I'm like, did we do something last night? Like, did something happen? And he's like, yeah, but you wasn't responding. So he tried to say that he tried to do something, but I wasn't responding, so he gave up. And then as time went on, he continues to change his story, y'all. He continued to change the story. So then, he ended up taking me home, which we don't live far from each other either, but he ended up taking me home. I left. I went home that morning. And I proceeded not to talk to him for the rest of that day because I just did not feel good. Like, even what he told me, I just couldn't, understand it fully. Because, again, y'all, I still could not believe that this is really what happened to my 31-year-old body. Like, I feel grown. I felt confused. I felt ashamed. I felt so lost.